It's titled, When Life Hits Hard, Your Habits Are All You've Got. Life has a funny way of testing a man's foundation when he least expects it. One day you're crushing it, your girl's by your side, your business is growing, everything's clicking. Then boom, it all goes to your relationship falls apart, your biggest clients walk, you lose someone close to you. That's when you find out what you're really made of. That's when you discover if you've been building real habits or just playing pretend. Let's get something crystal fucking clear right now. When life starts throwing haymakers at you, nobody's coming to save your ass. Nobody gives a fuck about your pain. Your boys might check in on you for a day or two, but they got their own shit to deal with. Society tells you to be strong, but doesn't teach you how to be strong. They expect you to figure that shit out on your own. Let's talk about relationships first, because this is where most men completely fucking crumble. Your girl leaves and suddenly you can't eat, sleep, can't focus. You stop hitting the gym, start drinking more, maybe even quit showing up to work properly. Why? Because like a fucking idiot, you built your entire world around her. You made her your purpose instead of building your own. This is why having unbreakable habits is so crucial. When my first serious relationship imploded, you know what saved me? My morning routine. 5 a.m., alarm goes off. Didn't matter if I slept 2 hours or 0. Feet hit the floor. Cold shower, workout, meditation, meal prep. These habits weren't just routines. They were my fucking anchor in the storm. While other guys were drunk texting their ex at 3 a.m., I was asleep, ready to attack another day. And let's talk about business setbacks. You think every day is going to be revenue growth and client wins? Wake the fuck up. Business is warfare. You're going to lose clients, deals fall through, your best employee might walk out on you. Market might turn against you. In these moments, your habits are literally all you've got. When shit hits the fan in business, most men do one of two things. They either panic and make desperate moves, or they freeze up and do nothing. But if you've built the right habits, you don't do either. You fall back on your progress. You stick to your morning routine. You keep working your leads. You maintain your health. You double down on the basics that got you here. Think of it like a soldier's training. When bullets start flying, you don't have time to think. You react based on what you've drilled into your body and mind thousands of times. Your habits are your training. They're what keep you moving forward when your mind is trying to convince you to quit. Now let's talk about personal loss, the kind of pain that hits different. Maybe you lose a parent, a close friend, someone who's meant the world to you. Society tells you to be strong, but what the fuck does that even mean? They want you to suppress that shit, act like you're fine. And because most men never learned how to build real emotional resilience through habits, they break. They turn to the bottle, to drugs, to anything that numbs the pain. But real strength isn't about suppression. It's about having habits so deeply ingrained that they carry you through the darkest times. When I lost someone close to me, my habits were the only thing that kept me sane. Wake up, move your body, fuel yourself properly, work with purpose. These aren't just tasks. They're acts of self-respect. They're you showing up for yourself when life is trying to break you. Here's what most men don't understand. Pain and pressure aren't trying to break you. They're opportunities to prove what you're made of. They're life's way of asking, how bad do you really want it? How strong are those habits you claim to have built? But let's keep it real. Most of you haven't built shit. You got habits when everything's going well. You hit the gym when you're motivated. You eat clean when it's convenient. You work hard when people are watching. That's not discipline. That's fucking cosplay. Real habits are what you fall back on when your world is burning down. They're what you do especially when you don't feel like it. Think about that for a second. When was the last time life tested you? Did your habits hold up? Or did you fold like a cheap lawn chair? You want to know what separates men who bounce back from anything versus the ones who stay broken? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's the habits they built when nobody was watching. It's the non-negotiable standards they set for themselves. Start building these habits now, because I promise you, life is going to test you. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but that test is coming. And when it does, you better have something to fall back on besides wishful thinking and motivation quotes. Start with your morning routine. This is your foundation. I don't give a fuck what's happening in your life. You wake up at the same time every day. You move your body. You fuel yourself properly. You work on your purpose. These aren't suggestions. These are your new non-negotiables. Remember this. As a man, you don't get to choose when life hits you with its worst, but you do get to choose what kind of foundation you built when it does. Every morning you drag yourself out of bed when you don't feel like it. Every workout you push through when you're tired. Every healthy meal you prep when you rather order takeout. You're not just building habits. You're building armor for the battles ahead. Your challenge for the next 24 hours, write down your non-negotiables. What are the habits that will keep you anchored when shit hits the fan? Then start treating them like your life depends on them. Because one day it might. The pain is coming. The pressure is coming. The question is, will your habits be strong enough to carry you through? And I leave the floor to you guys.
How you guys doing? Maybe I'll turn that camera on. Yeah, one expression that I really liked was I think it was Churchill who said, "When you're walking through hell, keep walking." Because like, what else are you gonna do?
Mm.
You have no other option, right? So also lately, because I had a lot of issues when I was younger, and it took like hitting like a bottom health wise to realize there's no other way. Like you might think, oh, I have options, but it's like the option is to, like you said, just keep pushing and move forward. But the question is like, how do you get the motivation for that? And I
Mhm.
think for each person, that's like uniquely your own thing. But finding something that when you wake up gets you excited. It doesn't have to be your business or whatever it is. And we used to have that as kids, like when we were younger, you'd wake up and you're ready to conquer the day, whatever it was, it's like ride your bike or hang out with your friends. If you can find a way to like revitalize that a bit, because kids are very creative, and I think we lose that as we grow. So, yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it. Just find something that gets you excited to get up in the morning. And I think that's tough for some people when they fall into like a rut, but it's hard to say, there's ways out of it, but you got to like try stuff. You're not going to get there by not trying things. Like walk through, you're in hell, walk through it. It's going to suck. You're going to have to fight demons and shit, but you'll learn something out of it. You might find some reason to keep walking. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, some action is better than no action a lot of times. I've
Mhm.
realized.
Yeah. I think it's tough for the guys that don't have direction and they end up spiraling out of control. So they do all the wrong actions because there is a right or wrong in this. Like you can sit on the couch all day. You can just fucking lose yourself in video games and porn and drugs and whatever the bottle, like guys will fall back on bad habits that they've had instead of, the stuff that they were trying to motivate themselves into. That's why it's called discipline, because this stuff needs to be ingrained into you almost like robotically, like automatic. You wake up. People that have worked out or have been super active understand that it gets to a certain point where not working out makes it feel like you've wasted the entire day. Although you could have been extremely productive and like crushed it and closed deals and, I don't know, you could do a million things throughout the day. But for some reason, you as an active person now, if you didn't do that one thing, like go to the gym or go on your run, you'll feel like your entire day was wasted. It's a strange feeling to have. But those that are extremely active and consistent know what I'm talking about. So unfortunately, until you get to this robotic state where this becomes your new identity, guys are stuck in this kind of limbo fashion where almost like they're right on the bridge in between the old them and the new them. And it's like shakiest when you're making your transition. You're most planted in those habits before the journey begins and after you've crossed the bridge into the new person. And unfortunately, life is a kind of a cruel bitch, dude, because as you're crossing that bridge, the wind starts blowing, it starts raining, shit starts getting slippery, the wood beneath your feet is cracking and breaking. It's like, oh, you're falling or the bridge is failing, and that's like the analogy for life, really. It's you have to literally fight your way through the transformation so you could get to the other side. And then it all becomes much easier. Then you're able to deal with all the bullshit and the stress and the pressure from life. But understand that journey, that bridge, I guess you could say analogous to people's lives, it's also very different in terms of length. Some people cross the bridge much faster than others. We're all equipped with different gifts or different, periods of stability in our lives. Maybe more unstable lives mean the bridge gets longer for you in that analogy and it takes longer to cross. I mean, who knows? But the point is, you have to cross because there is an end to the bridge. If you don't and you stop in the middle and you fall, then you can fall to essentially your death, which could be, spiritually, which could be psychologically, your determination, your motivation, everything is shot. You have, I don't even want to call it a Duber mentality, but you've given up like a nihilist, man. You're just wasting away until maybe one day you decide to stop wasting and take it all away from yourself. It's like, we have no choice though, because it's going to be hard to do nothing or it's going to be hard to do something. Either way, it's hard. So remove that whole notion of this is going to be hard to do. It's hard to stay still, bro. It sucks staying still. Staying still is fucking pain. Think about it. Your mind is becoming numb. Your body is becoming numb. You feel like something's wrong. Anxiety starts to build. That's from stillness. You have to move.
Yeah, yeah.